Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. Or if this is your first time here, we're the Pod Sound School and we are obsessed with everything podcasting.
On today's video, we're going to teach you how to plan, produce, promote, and launch a podcast for free from start to finish.
Completely free. It's a complete guide from the beginning to end of your podcast. But before we dive in, I just want to remind you guys to hit the subscribe button and let you know we've also included a free downloadable PDF of a Jumpstart Your Podcast guide that you should definitely download, and we'll leave the link in the description below.
Okay, let's get to it. Number 1, topic and title. This step is for those of you who haven't chosen a topic or title for your show. And for this, there's 2 tools that you can use to find a perfect topic for your show. Answer the Public and public forums like Quora or Reddit. Something that you have to keep in mind when you're choosing your topic is that you should choose something that you feel passionate about, something that you have the skills and the knowledge and the experience so you can bring that to your show, and also something that you can have fun with it.
I like that, and that way you can have longevity with your podcast, and it's something you could do for months and months and years to come, right? And also, when you're thinking about your title, you want to make sure with the title of your podcast, even if you're really sold on it, that you make sure to do research first. First off, just check the podcast directories like iTunes and Spotify and make sure that another podcast isn't already using that podcast name. And then Google the name and see what comes up when you Google the name. Also, you can check podchaser.com and see if anybody's using the name there. And then, of course, it's always a good idea to check to see if the domain name is available. For example, www.yourpodcastname.com.
That's a very important step.
Yeah, that way in the future, when you want to have your own website under the name of your podcast, it's available for you to use.
Yes.
We also have a really helpful video here on our channel that dives even deeper into choosing your topic, so check that out for more information. And let's move on to step number 2.
Who is your ideal listener? This is a very important step for the success of your show.
Yes, and it's probably also the most overlooked step and the number 1 reason most podcasts fail.
So have you stopped to think who your ideal listener is and where you can find them? Identifying who your target audience is will help you to tailor your content to your target audience. It will help you save time with your social media promotion, and it will also help you with finding sponsors, growing your community, and getting more fans.
And sometimes it's good when you're trying to find your niche and really pinpoint or niche down to imagine people that you would like to serve or that you could be of help to, or people that struggle or grapple with the same things that you do.
And if you want to dive a little deeper and learn more about finding and identifying your niche audience, we have this video right here that can help you with that.
Okay, let's move on to step number 3, artwork and social media. You've got your title chosen, you've identified and niched down who your target audience is. Now it's time to create that cover art for your podcast. This is a really fun process, and there's a great tool that we love a lot, Canva. If you haven't checked Canva out yet, it's great. You can use it on your iPhone, your Android, or your computer. This will allow you to make a 3,000 by 3,000 pixel cover artwork. It can either be a JPEG or a PNG. That's what you'll need for your cover art. While in the process of designing and coming up with your cover art, this is a great time to think about branding, to choose colors that you're going to be using for your podcast, and even fonts. It's also a good idea to create multiple art pieces that can be art for each episode, or even artwork that you can use for social media.
Yes, branding is very important, and you don't want to limit yourself only to the artwork that you're creating for your podcast. You need to be consistent throughout the social media platforms that you're going to be using. This is why branding is so important, and having the colors of your brand defined.
And next would be social media.
Yes, 2 social media platforms that we recommend are Twitter and Instagram.
Yes, with Twitter being my favorite and Instagram being Veronica's favorite. These are very effective for finding listeners for your show. Twitter is great because there are so many podcasters active on Twitter, and it's also a wonderful place to get started and to gain a lot of followers very quickly.
Instagram is another platform that you can use to promote your podcast. There's a lot of fun things that you can do over on Instagram, like Instagram stories. You can design your feed using your brand colors. You can add your bio statement and add all the information about your podcast.
And we recommend really getting social media going before you even launch your podcast. This is a great way to create hype and let people know that your podcast is coming out, and it will help you once you launch to actually have some followers to come listen to your show.
Yeah, very important.
We have a playlist here that is great, has all of the social media tips and tricks you need to get going both on Twitter and Instagram. You can find that playlist here.
Step number 4, choosing your software and your host.
Yes, software and host. This is where a lot of us get confused. First, there's software or an app that allows us to record our voice, to make simple edits to our voice, add music and sound effects, and then export that to an MP3 file. Then there's the host. The host is where we take this MP3 file or this episode that we've created and we upload it to a host, which is essentially a website that holds onto this MP3, and that MP3 can then be shared or distributed to all the podcast directories. There are some really cool free apps that are not only an audio editor and an audio recorder app, but they're also a host all in one. One that we really like is Anchor, and we just made a video about it. It's really fun. You should check it out. We started from the very beginning to the very end. We made a podcast entirely using our smartphone. You can find that video here.
For free.
Yes, totally for free. Anchor is cool because it allows you to make simple edits and to record your voice onto the app, and then it will also host your podcast and distribute it also to the podcast directories for you, which is really fun and really cool. The downfall of Anchor is that they actually own the rights to your podcasts. And that might not seem like a big deal to you right now, but later down the road when you become famous, that will kind of suck. In addition to Anchor, there's another app that's really cool, and that's Spreaker Studio. Now, Spreaker's been around for a while, and they are a podcast hosting company, but they just made an app that does essentially the same thing that Anchor does. However, the Spreaker Studio doesn't allow you to make simple edits. It only allows you to record little 15-minute chunks of voice and add some sound effects and things like that. But Spreaker does not own the rights to your podcast. So Spreaker will involve some workarounds and a little bit more learning, but it might be a better option for you if you want to own the rights to your podcast. If you're going to use Spreaker, what you'll need to do is use another audio editing and recording app from the App Store or from your Android phone. My favorite is Spire, but there's so many different ones you can use. And what you would do is record your podcast episode into those apps, and then you can export an MP3, put that MP3 into your Spreaker Studio, and then Spreaker Studio will upload, host, and help you to distribute your podcast episodes. So as podcasts are becoming more popular and are on the rise, companies like Anchor and Spreaker have made it easier for all of us podcasters to record and host and distribute our podcasts online.
Also, if you own a computer, desktop, or a laptop, you can utilize free editing software on your computer. For example, GarageBand is very good for Mac, Audacity is good for PC, and the one we recommend and we like the most is Pro Tools First, which is the free version of Pro Tools.
And as it happens, we also have a Get Started with Pro Tools First playlist here on our channel that you can check out. Using a computer is always going to be a better option for editing your podcast than using a smartphone. And you can still create a podcast for free if you own a computer. And if you want to take it up a notch and sound even better, you can spend $60 on an Audio-Technica ATR 2100 microphone that's a USB microphone. It'll plug into your computer and you'll sound even better than you would on your phone. But if you want to keep it free, you can either use the internal microphone on your computer, or you can still use the microphone on your phone and then just transfer the files from your phone to your computer. The reason it is so worth going through that extra step and getting onto a computer is because of the flexibility and the ease of use with the editing. And also when you're using a computer, that gives you the option to check out other free hosting services. We really like Podbean, and a lot of podcasters have a great experience with Podbean. They have a free service, and then they give you a lot of options, just like Spreaker does actually, to upgrade later as you go along and grow with your podcast.
And there you go, Paskies. Now that you chose the topic and the title of your show, you found your ideal listener, you worked on your artwork and your social media, and you chose your software and your host, and you recorded your podcast, you're ready to tell people on social media that you're gonna launch your podcast.
How exciting!
How exciting! Come and find us on social media at Pod Sound School. We will love to hear from you.
Yes, and don't forget, you can find the links to all of the resources we mentioned in this video in the description below. And leave us some comments here on YouTube. Tell us the title you're thinking about for your show, and especially come and tell us when your show launches.
Yes.
And until next time, 2 things.
No olviden hacer la tarea, and don't forget to subscribe and like this video.
Yes.
And until then,
Happy casting,
casting,
people.
amigos.